Welcome back, POTAS subscribers. We're going to be talking today about overexposure. Now, what is overexposure? We talked about looking washed out or um, just not being what we want. Maybe it is something we want. Maybe we want to use it as a draw to something else. Or maybe we want to overexpose the area around what we're trying to image. Let's take a look at what overexposure is. And we're going to throw up some illustrations of overexposure and not just use what we're seeing here in this camera frame for the video, but we're going to try and use some things that I've shot specifically to illustrate what overexposure is. Now, obviously, overexposure can be something that we don't want as a major theme to the photo. But what we do want is we want the thing that we are shooting to be exposed enough for it to be recognizable. We want it to be seen. We want the detail to be appreciated. We want the focus of what we have and what we're showing in that photograph to be admirable, something that people will want to keep looking at or drawn back to. So, all that being said, overexposure is not just what causes detail to look faded or washed out, but causes a loss of detail. The problem with overexposure is that there's too much light being added to the subject. And when there is too much light being added to the subject, there is a loss of detail because the grays tend to turn white, the blacks tend to turn gray. Obviously, the whites will just appear that much more white, and there's no color to it. It's all just white. Now, we'll get to talking a little bit more as we discuss what color is, how that plays into and what that looks like, how white is made in the camera, and then how that also plays out to when things are printed. How does that play out in how things are printed as far as what colors make what color? But before we get off into that subject and follow that rabbit down its rabbit hole, let's take a look and see what overexposure is so that we aren't overexposing our photographs when we want our subject shot properly and we are properly getting that exposed with what we've just been practicing for the last couple of videos, and start looking at what the overexposure is to use it as a tool in our tool bag. Overexposure is something that not only causes a loss of detail in that area that's overexposed, but it can also be used as another source of communication. What do you think of when you see in a one of your videos that you've seen? Maybe it's something you've seen recently. I'm thinking of an adventure video that I used to watch a lot as a high schooler and in middle school. They turned the video camera from the adventurer who was struggling in the desert to get through the desert, and he was starting to get so dehydrated that he was just looking for any place to get comfort. But he was just struggling, trying to get through the desert, and so they pan the camera upward into the sun, and then there's just this big bubble that they create around the sun, and it illustrates the passing of time. Now, why the sun? I don't know. To me, it would have, at that time, my understanding would have played more into seeing a wide angle shot of the sky and see the sun move from one place to the next. But one of the things that you see in cinematography is the passing of time will be marked by a panning upward to the sun. And it's kind of interesting that they use that, but that's exactly our point here, is they're using an overexposure to communicate something else. Overexposure. Very few cameras in the market today are designed to so tone down the brightness of the sun to be able to see the sun's surface. Now, we've seen the sun's surface in photographs in different places on the internet and other places around, but the cameras just aren't designed to tame that brightness that much. It's designed to be more in the middle spectrum between the shadow and the lighting of houses with light bulbs, or the bright sun outside, but reflected off of something or someone. And so when you have a selfie, if you take a selfie with your phone, typically you're going to turn your camera around into a place or a location where your face is lit with reflected light, but you're shooting toward the light source behind you, even though it's not directly behind you, so that there's a little bit of lighting around the edge of you. You can see there's some lighting around the edge of me, partly from the light that's behind me, lighting that corner that we talked about a couple videos ago, but also I'm being lit from the front by a couple of other lights that are up in front of me in our living room. So that being illustrated, I am perfectly exposed, but the one thing in this shot of this video is that corner behind me between the Christmas tree and the fireplace where the stockings are hung. That is overexposed. Now, there's not a lot of that corner you can see, but there is some, and you see that overexposure kind of bringing out some of the detail on the edge of the Christmas tree also. So just don't think that overexposure is a bad thing, that it shouldn't ever occur in your photographs. It's needing to be sprinkled in here and there, like salt. It's going to season your photographs, and it's going to draw people's attention from something, from that overexposed area generally, to the properly exposed area. So play around with it. Use it as that salt seasoning and let it spice up your photographs just a little bit. Don't be afraid of things being overexposed, but use it to your advantage. Have a great one, everybody, and enjoy that time with your family. Happy New Year and happy 2021. Like the videos if you would, and subscribe. We are going to be doing this every day and doing our best to add value to you and your photographs as you take snapshots of your life and cherish these videos and these photographs that you take to remember everything that's going on, not just what you have been doing in 2020, but now what you're doing and how things are changing and what you enjoy, what you're liking in 2021. So subscribe, click that bell so that you don't miss any videos coming up, and get ready for your photographs and your videos to go from good to great, from wherever you are. Whether you're already at great, level up to the next level of great, taking it from your level where you are to the next level. All right, everybody, have a good one. Happy 2021.